Well, you ended up getting picked up by the Phillies.
Yeah. I chose
And
the
at the time-
Phillies. I didn't get picked up by the Phillies. I
You
chose the Phillies. Why did I choose?
Right. Well, yeah. Well, you were a free agent at the time, so you get
Yeah.
to choose where you want to go. Exactly.
I chose the Phillies because I was good friends with Schmidt, Luzinski, Bowa. That was the guts of that order. And I always figured that in the 70s, the Philly problem was the Reds. So if I leave the Reds, they don't have that problem no more. And I chose right, because we went to the series in 80, we went to the series in 83, playoffs in 82. We were a good team.
Yep.
See, I was used to being around Hall of Fame players. Even when I played in Montreal, I had 3 Hall of Fame players in that lineup: Dawson, Raines, and Carter. You know, I had the least amount of Hall of Famers with Philly than I did Montreal or Cincinnati as teammates.
Well, when you joined the Phillies, you signed a 4-year, $3.2 million contract, which at the time made you the highest paid athlete in all of team sports.
Correct. I was 800 some thousand a year.
Yeah. I mean,
and I played a new
these
position.
days-
I played a new position too.
Right. I mean, these days, I mean, even in today's dollars, that's not a huge amount of money. But back then, like I said, you were the highest paid athlete in all of sports.
Right.
Did you buy anything special after you signed that deal?
I don't remember. I was just, it was a load off your shoulders. You know, it was hard to turn down Ted Turner. It was hard to turn down Augie Bush. I mean, when you think about it, it ended up okay for me, but Augie Bush offered me a Budweiser distributorship.
Okay.
I wish I'd have took that.
Right.
I'd still be making bucks today.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So you joined the Phillies, and the first year you guys missed the postseason.
I did good though.
But you did good. But then that next year, you guys get to the World Series versus the Kansas City Royals.
Yes.
1 in 6 games.
Yes.
But more importantly than winning that World Series, that was the first Phillies World Series title in 86 years. 1 million people hit the streets.
The parade?
Yeah,
Most awesome thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
We were on floats going out to JFK, which was 65,000 sitting waiting for us.
Was that your favorite World Series win, you think, in retrospect?
No.
No.
First one.
The first one.
First one.
Yeah.
That was a big one. I mean, because it meant
that was a big one, yeah.
Because it meant so much to so many people.
Right.
You know, you said the
Right.
first time in 80 years?
In 86 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
There were probably 3 guys that were living then were at the parade.
I know, right? And they were probably about 1 year old when, you know, they won last time.
But the Philly fans, they're the greatest. I mean, I love the Philly fans. I mean, they love the Phillies. And I got to choose where I wanted to go. I didn't want to go to the Yankees. I didn't think I could help Atlanta win. I didn't want to go to St. Louis to replace Lou Brock. You know, there was a lot of different things that added up to going somewhere like Philadelphia, because they had good players. You know, when you got the Schmidts and the Bones and the trios and Boas and Luzinskis and Maddoxes and McBrides and McCarver, those guys were all really part of my select in Philadelphia.
Well, then next year in 83, you actually had the worst season of your career. You only batted .245 with 121 hits, and they ended up benching you during the last part of the season.
Yeah.
And, you know, that caused a problem, obviously. You know, even though they played, they got to the World Series again. They played the Orioles. They lost. But at that point, what made you decide that you were done with the Phillies?
What made me decide what?
That you were done with the Phillies?
Just because they benched me.
Hmm.
When you're 43, 42 years old and you get benched, the handwriting's on the wall. And they had a young prospect, really nice guy, Len Matuzak, who they wanted to get playing time. I understood that, and I thanked him for the opportunity and went about my business.
Right. And then you went to the Montreal Expos.
Yeah.
How's that?
It was fun because we had some good players. That's another team where I had 3 Hall of Famers on the team. Raines, Dawson, and Gary Carter. Had Francona, had Wallach, had Chris Spire, Steve Rogers, Charlie Lee, Jeff Reardon. We had good players. That was one of them deals, and I'm not bad-mouthing anybody when I say this, but Bill Verdon was the manager. And really a nice guy. But Bill Verdon wasn't the right guy for that group of guys. We needed a Sparky Anderson, Danny Ozark type of manager. Not a guy that never said anything and was so laid back. And I think that caught up with us. Because a player plays like his team's attitude. And we had kind of a different attitude with that team. I don't know if it was playing in Montreal or what it was, but we should have did better than we did.
Well,
I think the first mistake he made was putting me in left field and putting Francona at first base. He should have put me at first base and Francona in left field. Because I'm kind of a noisemaker wherever I played. And you can be more of a noisemaker at first base than you can at left field. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not that I did poorly in left field, but I just come off of 5 great years at first base with Philly. So why you want to change that? I was a lot better first baseman than Francona was.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was with the Expos that you hit your 4,000th
opening
career
day
hit.
Off of Jerry Kuzman.
Yep. Which meant that you were the second player to ever do that after Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
How did that feel? A huge accomplishment.
Well, accomplishments feel different if you're running out of time. Now, if that had been the last day of the season and you got to get a hit to get 4,000, it creates a lot of problems. But because it's opening day, I got 162 games to get 1 hit for 4,000. Get 193 for the all-time record. So that's the way I approach things. But it was fun when it happened. I don't think they were used to mementos up in Montreal with the baseball team.
Yeah.
With the baseball team.
Yeah.
I don't even think the players understood to come out to second base congratulate me because I hit a double. It's like everybody was real shy. You understand what I'm saying?